Leslie, thank you so much. Having a conversation with our friend Vikas Bajaj here. The sentencing phase, began yesterday for James Holmes. He's the man who opened fire inside a Colorado movie theater 3 years ago. So last week, Holmes was found guilty on 24 counts of murder and 140 counts of attempted murder. So Vikas Bajaj is here to break down this case for us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so here's the interesting twist in this. If the jury says yes to the death penalty for James Holmes, there is a big snafu with the governor. Explain what that means.
Absolutely correct. The governor in the state of Colorado, like most governors throughout the states and the union, have the unique ability to, in essence, veto what the jury finds. And so it's an executive power that's built into their state constitution, allowing the governor to say, well, we don't believe the death penalty is the right result. So we know the death penalty has from 1846 in the state of Michigan when they entered the union. When Michigan did, they said, we don't want the death penalty. We're going to abolish it for whatever reason. And I think we have the state of Nebraska as recently as this year, 2015, saying we're abolishing it also. Colorado has not abolished it. Colorado has a unique mechanism, which most states in the union have, which allows the executive branch to essentially veto a jury's decision.
Okay, but what happens, we know this day and age that folks who are, get the death penalty, sit on death row for years, right? So 10 years, maybe 20 years. But so what happens if, by then this governor probably is not going to be in office, probably a new governor. Maybe that governor says, I'm okay with a death penalty. I agree with this jury, if indeed that's what the jury finds. Can that new governor overturn this?
Well, there's a couple of hypotheticals that you've raised. One of those is it may just be a rerun of this particular governor's run for election. If we recall, in the state of Colorado, when he ran for the position there as governor of Colorado, he said, I am pro-death penalty. When he took office, he flipped it around and said, well, you know what, it's not a popular vote anymore, so we're not going to put that into play. In essence, Colorado has abolished the death penalty. It would be very difficult for a new governor to come on in as a member of the executive branch and reverse what a prior governor did at the behest of the state of Colorado.
So it wouldn't just be as easy as like an executive order. A new governor couldn't say, well, I disagree with the last guy.
A governor could do that. It wouldn't pass legal muster. It would definitely find itself in appeal after appeal after appeal. The bottom line, though, is that it is not a popular vote. And the legislation has, throughout the country, responded to that. And you have, in essence, de facto abolition of the death penalty, other than states like Florida, Texas, Virginia.
Sure. All right. So we're putting the cart before the horse here. Let's talk about the actual sentencing phase right now. And news yesterday came down. James Holmes admitted in court and testified before the judge saying, I am not going to talk. He said, I'm not talking during this sentencing phase. Is that a good move legally?
It's a consistent move. You would have to be the person that's actually spearheading the defense to really know whether it's a good move or a bad move, but we can accurately describe it as consistent.
Okay, but what is the strategy behind him not testifying? Wouldn't it be better for him to stand up in court and say, I'm sorry?
Well, it would be, but it would be inconsistent. That theory would fall flat on his face. The reason why I say that is the guilt or innocence phase has specifically concentrated on his insanity defense. So Mr. Holmes made a decision along with the defense not to testify, specifically because if he did, he's a neuroscience major in college. He would not, I believe, present as an uneducated person who was incapable of premeditating these murders. Now, it would be inconsistent for the defense now in the penalty phase to change their strategy. So it is consistent, and it's the best odds of success to save Mr. Holmes' life as far as the defense is concerned.
So what you're saying, the defense is wanting to ride this wave of insanity even through this phase.
They have to.
They have to.
It actually might even be ineffective assistance not to. Mr. Holmes told the judge in open court that he was not willing to testify. If he does, I'm sure the jury would look at him and say, well, perhaps he is too calculating, too intelligent, and not criminally insane. Therefore, an inconsistent theory.
All right. Vic, thank you so much for taking the time to come in this morning.
My pleasure.
All right.